sports enthusiasts, fans, and pundits, it's a great weekend. The feeling is phenomenal. It's good to be back here with you. And this time around, I'm not going to be here alone, just like the last episode of the show. But then let me welcome you to the next 45 minutes of non-stop sports update from around the globe. I am the top cat. I've got two other cats with me. I don't know where they're going to fall in, but yes, give me wide. Cat number one.
Sorry that
You're a cool cat, though.
you're a cool cat, yeah. Sorry that I had to let you fly alone on Wednesday. I was
Yes,
with a good accent. So it's good to be here back Friday. Weekend games, always the top story. And we have a retirement saga. Let's see how it goes. Charlie Montero, and I'm glad to be here.
All right, we've got another card. This one is Odum Agune Chamber. Akata the attacker.
It's great to be here once again.
Yes, indeed.
Our coach Gladys decided to play an offensive formation.
Yeah,
So there will be 3 strikers.
Yes,
firing on
indeed.
all cylinders today. Blessed to be here.
Indeed, Gladys gets the credit for that. Anyway, let's start off and get to the teak of the matter. Today, Nigeria takes on Libya at the Goodwill Akpabio Stadium. The Goodwill Akpabio Stadium is dubbed the Nest of Champions. Would it be the X factor when Nigeria Super Eagles play host to the Mediterranean Knights at 5 p.m.? We do have a prediction post on our social media platform, just in case you're not following us on social media. It's going to be on the screen, SOUQ News TV across board, the social media platforms. You could go there, make your predictions. The time lapse is going to be 5 p.m. just at the before the blast of the whistle tonight. When that game will commence, you should have turned in your predictions, and you just can't be getting urgent 2K. We'll be selecting randomly a number of winners who we will credit after the game is up, just after 90 minutes. But let me also start off the show today by saying that Nottingham Forest striker Taiwo Awoniyi is looking towards a straight win over Libya in the 2025 AFCON Cup of Nations qualifiers. They, talking about the Super Eagles, currently lead Group D with 4 points after just 2 games. Not the maximum number of points, though. But a victory in this game and victory in this match will bring them closer to securing a spot at the 2025 African Cup of Nations Cup, which will happen in Morocco. Taiwo Awoniyi, missed the first phase of the qualifiers, and that was as a result of injury. And he has gone on to express his confidence in the team's ability to achieve victory and say the team is ready for the task at hand and the determination to secure a win for the fans. Nigerians. Well, similarly, Seville striker Ejuke is also back, and here is an excerpt from an interview with a player who was the last to report to camp, but not the least player.
I'm just happy, to be honest. I'm really excited to be back. It's always like a good feeling to get the opportunity to represent your country, but also to see like some colleagues you haven't seen in a while. It's also really nice. So I'm really excited to be here. The more you're performing, the more you get like this kind of opportunity. So I would say yes. Always had a good time. The experiences have always been good. With the national team, with the games I've had opportunities to play as well. It's always been nice, and I always love representing the country, and whenever I get the opportunity, I just want to do my best and enjoy football. I mean, we're just gonna go out there and give our best, and hopefully get the 3 points at the end. And also we urge the fans as well to be behind us and support us in every situation.
Chidera Ejuke. Let's start from Chidera Ejuke, guys. I'd like to get cat number one, Charlie Montero, into the fray. Well, how would you describe his performance, since his move to Sevilla?
Well, I'll say it's been a relatively slow start.
Yeah.
Because he has not really hit the ground running, because he's had a few chances to prove himself. For the times that he has gotten, and he has been able to show us the quality that he exudes, and you see he's enthusiastic about the game. Few times I've had the opportunity to hear him speak about football. He's always talked about work ethics. He's always talking about giving your all on the pitch, and you see that he actually gives his all. And we see him in that Sevilla team. They don't really have an out-and-out winger, someone that is really goes down the wing. mesmerizes players and try to put a cross across,
Yeah.
for a center for, and he's more or less that person that they have, that danger they have coming in from the left. And you see him every time. I think the last game he also contributed to their points, the points that they got, the
The
minute
build up and all
yeah.
that.
You see his influence. He's a skillful player regardless. He's a workaholic. He has speed, knows how to dribble. He doesn't shy away from one-on-one. So
Yeah, he says his dribble
yeah.
skills are a God-given talent.
So yeah, he doesn't shy away from one-on-one, and you see that he's a fighter really. So I expect that he'll bring it to the
So
game.
there. Well, just before I get Agunde Chamber, Nigeria's talisman Victor Osimhen will miss the match due to an injury sustained during Galatasaray's clash against Kasim Pasa, the 2013 AFCON champion. Still have plenty of players capable of making an impact. Just before I do, okay, probably just run down some of the players that we currently have in the squad who are fantastic in the various clubs. Ademola Lookman will easily come to your head. He has been in outstanding form for both Atlanta and Nigeria in the 2024 season of year. Yeah, the year on the review. He scored a hat-trick in the Europa's League final and delivered very standard performances in the 2023 AFCON tournament. And in the last games Nigeria have played, he's also come through. He's emerged as a strong contender in this year's AFCON Player of the Year award. And we've seen him make his mark for Nigeria, severally. In the game against the Republic of Benin, netting 2 goals. We also saw him impress at his club, scoring 2 goals and providing 2 assists for Gian Piero Gasperini's side. His recent form makes him a very key and integral player in Nigeria's quest for victory. Likewise, Ademola Lookman, Victor Boniface, who a lot of people don't know if he's a comedian, a TikToker, or a footballer. He seems to just be great at all of them. He has struggled to find the back of the net for Nigeria, but his club form has been remarkable. I mean, he's just been great. The Bayer Leverkusen striker has scored 5 goals and provided 1 assist since returning to, his club football. And then you have a Nwabali who seems to have put the beautiful Madiko Koye on the stands for a long time since he, got between the sticks for the Super Eagles. He's become very reliable, and the Chippa United goalkeeper has made a number of saves that have kept the Super Eagles competitive in matches, and he will be a very crucial member of the team, when they take on the Mediterranean Knights. William Chustekong, the former Watford defender, will also look to continue his excellent form. He has also scored goals for Nigeria, when we did not have hope. I'm talking as a Nigerian now. So a combination of he alongside Semi Ajayi and Calvin Bassey has just proven, very reliable. I miss Leon Balogun, but then having 2 Igbos at the back line there would have been beautiful to watch. But Trustekon has provided leadership and some form of stability to maintaining the structure of a rock-solid defense for the Super Eagles. And then you have Leicester City's midfielder who I feel over the years he has waned a little bit because sometimes you just had the Wilfred Didi who, took the place of Mikel Obi, a holding midfielder, in the Premier, because Mikel did not play a holding midfielder role for the Super Eagles. He played more of, a talisman role for the Super Eagles. Yeah, the 10th position. So, but then we've seen Wilfred go out of the spotlight for a while, then return to club football and registered 2 assists in Leicester's 2-2 draw against Crystal Palace and put in a strong performance against Arsenal. I missed the combination of he and Kelechi Iheanacho, for Leicester City. But then I wonder if he'll be able to come to the party, especially for the Super Eagles. Kelechi also got a call-up in this particular game. So without Victor Osimhen, who also scored for Nigeria in the last game, the combination was in the local parlance, Mado. Number 2, Agunde. Let me ask you, Akata, what do you make out of some of the players who are still in the squad? Taking a look at Boniface, William Troost Ekong, Ademola Lookman. I mean, you've got some of the finest players on the screen at the moment. What do you think? Do we have a solid team that can represent us?
I think Nigeria currently has embarrassment of riches.
Oh, really?
Because even a lot of the players that were not invited are also doing well in the club.
Yeah.
It's just down to replicating club form in the Super Eagles, with the likes of, as you said, Boniface has been unable to. But the trick to it is giving the players run of games. It's very, very important. At the beginning, when Ademola Lookman came into the Super Eagles lineup, it was very, very difficult. We didn't really see him play that well. But by the 5th game, he's now a mainstay in the Super Eagles. So this is an opportunity for Taiwo Awoniyi or Boniface, whoever leads the line, to show the stuff they are made of. So I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident with the team we have. This team should be able to beat any African side.
All right, so let's take a look at the run of form. We've seen Nigeria's teams. I think it was when we had the Dream Team. That was years ago.
Between 94 and 2000.
Yes, and so now we're 2024. 30 years, right? 30 years later, we've not had a smooth transition of players in the Super Eagles. Correct me if I'm wrong. It feels like we did not capitalize on the achievements of that 1994 team. Because what I think would have happened is, as players gradually get to retirement, you pick that pawn out, or you pick that particular person out and replace. And so you're having people integrated to the team one after, not like, I mean, with what we have now, it just feels like 3 or 4 new, 5 new faces that just comes into the team at the same time, and you try to blend all of them together. So let's say we have a solid team of our first 11 of, let's say, we're setting up 20 or 23 man squad. Yeah, these are the standards, or this is the standard Nigerian team. And then someone shines a bright light. He's very good. What you do is you just take that position, see if that person can fit into the playing style and culture of the Super Eagles. That consistency can only be born out of the right structure from the NFF, the right organization with the Super Eagles, the right leadership in terms of form of management or coach. And so that will translate, to the players who are being led in terms of ideology, style, tactics, formation. Of course, yes, there's room for dynamism and all that. But then it's like you have a community or a league of extraordinary gentlemen who have, over the years, developed a certain style. And then you want to join LXG. We're now giving you rules and regulations. For you to join, you have to respect your seniors. You have to play to instruction. You have to report to camp on time. Anything where you be. But when you're coming in here, you have to be Nigerian. You have to play to the rules. Nigeria first. I don't think we have that culture in the team.
I think the problem you're just highlighting happens in almost every national team, even down to the England national team. But I want to disagree with what you've said. The core of this team have been there for the past 5 years. When the trusted Kongs of this world.
No, I went back 30 years.
The transition from 30 to now is definitely not possible. The team in 2013 that won the African Nations Cup.
Had they beat them?
By 2016, there were a lot of them. Where was Sunday Mba?
A lot of them
had gone. Even by the 4th year, Emmanuel Emunike. I think it's also a problem of coaching. Like, this team now is Raw's team somehow. So if we when the coach fails, keep him, just give him time. Give him time to adapt his tactics, adapt his system, because that's what is wrong with the Super Eagles. We don't seem to play with a pattern. And that was what was very, if you look at the Philippe George team, it was total, they was trying to move away from the team that went to African Cup of Nations, and we retrogressed. So this is Austin Eguavoen trying to, after these qualifiers, let's keep Eguavoen. Let's get a coach that will coach the team. Westerhoff started in 1990. His first game at the Nations Cup, we lost 5-1 to Algeria. But by 94, he had won the Nations Cup. By 94, we were 90 seconds away from the quarterfinals of the World Cup. So we need consistency in the management of the team.
Well, let's move over to Cat 1. I don't know if you wanted to add something, or then maybe...
I just wanted to buttress what he was saying, because when you look at national teams, they are always slightly different from club side.
Yes.
You see, it's easy for you to bring someone that you want to take over from whoever is reaching his peak or reaching the end of his career, and say, okay, learn from this person. You can do that in the club side. But when you come to the national side, it's more or less, there's no consistent
Now
meeting.
it's not like I want to stop you in your track. Here is what I think about all of this. We had the team, the 1994 Dream Team was not the Super Eagles. Sorry, the 1996 team was not the Super Eagles.
The core of the team was the Super Eagles from 94.
All right.
JJ Okocha,
Yes.
Sunday Olise,
Kano Wanko.
Uche Okechukwu. They were all in the World Cup.
Now, get my point. My point is, if you had a youth system that feeds,
I was going to come there because I felt like it has to start from the grassroots. When you are talking of transition, it has to start from the grassroots. When you look at Spain in the last year, you see they were able to pick up trophies across
what's that
the board.
guy's name, Yamal?
I'm not even talking of Yamal or what their national team was able to do. If you look at the feminine side, they won all their competitions. When you look at under 21, they are champions. When you look at their under 17, champions.
So Spain is doing something right.
They are doing something right, which is they have an identified style of play, which is their tiki-taka. They follow it through. So once they are coming from the youth once they are coming from the academy to the youth stage, the youth phase, to the
Most of them also
and to
in
the
academies and clubs in the country.
is the philosophy.
Yes, that's what
We have done well at the 8th grade level.
Yes.
We've
we?
done, yes. We've been winning. We
In
won about
recent-
5 under 17.
Under 17, where we are almost like the dominant side in that competition. So what's now the difference between there and where we want to be in Super Eagles? If these children have tasted, or like I say, these boys have tasted victory, they have tasted what it means to compete with the boys that they will play in the future. So why are we not following that generation? Why are we more or less like cutting them off? Okay, go and find a place for yourself. No, you're supposed to follow it through. That's why I feel the NFF and
The
corruption. They should be able to tackle this issue. They should be able to set a standard, set a blueprint that we are willing to follow for the next 10 years.
Just the issue of age.
Yes, there's a little of age. Now it's the government's commitment to football and seeing it work
Yes.
that will give cut these loose ends of transition, cut the loose ends of we are not keeping the momentum, we're not keeping. Look, imagine not qualifying for the last World Cup. That's a big shame, and we are also towing the same path, not qualifying for the next one. So I'm saying we need consistency, or we need right leaders that have the vision, especially experts that have been ex-professionals in the field. That would say 10 years from now, what do you want to achieve? That's what we need. That's when you say chopping and changing or bringing someone to slot in, you can't get a like-for-like player.
Here's what I think about this personally. It feels like I'm running analysis on the show, but then I mean,
Super Eagles Day.
okay, so let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's like chess or with Tici Barrah kind of scenario. You know what I'm saying? No. So here's my thought about it. We have 11 players on the pitch. And the way the football game is structured, you have positions, right? So you have a goalkeeping position, you have the number of defenders, depending on what you have, what formation. But you have strikers, midfielders, defenders.
Yeah.
Before now, Nigeria's traditional side usually have wingers.
That was Western Hawks philosophy.
You understand? You play from the wing.
Before then,
You have a Garba Lawal, you have a Mutu Adepoju, you have a Tijani Babangida, you have the Pius Ikedia. These were people who fit into those roles. Now, if we had a philosophy, if we had a strategy, it's easy to identify players who can plug into the defense. What you have to do now is understand the playing style of a Calvin Bassey. And online now, you know that if he goes front, it's difficult for him to come back and cover his back. The defender fills up that right half back.
But don't you?
But at this level, they don't coach. They don't
coach them
You
on
don't
that.
coach.
You only apply the players how you feel that is going to benefit the team. Okay, just take for instance now a Bukayo Saka, which we know that is a left footer, plays on the right. When he's playing on the right wing, it's a different ball game. But you see him when he plays for England, they might bring him to left back. No, it's the player's versatility or how you would be applied.
We're saying the same thing but differently.
Okay, I agree to that. But that's what I think. Versatility is the problem because as a professional,
whose prerogative is it to identify?
The coach.
Do you understand? I mean, I mentioned all of these. I said everybody has a role to play.
Yeah,
it's the philosophy.
For example, we have a 3-man formation, right?
Yes.
He's great with hosting and analysis.
Okay.
Your great way analysis. You might not want to take up the responsibility of hosting. So if for any reason you're going to be stepping out, or he's going to be stepping out, you could have me, Ron. Do you understand? You've been able to identify people's skills. And
Okay, you're saying more or less like the players being able to cover for each other's laps.
Yes. You have players who are Nigerian abound. We started by saying that there are a lot of Nigerian players who have not gotten a call-up.
Yes.
And so what I'm saying is, have the team. If there's an injury with Victor Osimhen, we should have a worthy replacement. People should not be arguing if Chidera Ejuke.
We do. I just feel it's more or less.
Now, do you now understand what I'm saying? Applying to this so that it is long term.
Is the philosophy.
Well, Libya's captain Faisal Al-Badiri has expressed the Mediterranean Knights' determination to emerge victorious against the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Libya. The Super Eagles are heavily favored to win, and they're going into the match as the leaders, while Nasser Al-Badiri's side are yet to secure a victory in the qualifying series. Now, during a press conference in New York, Al-Badiri emphasized they intend to secure the first win against the formidable Eagles. And, of course, they understand that securing a victory against Super Eagles is crucial for revitalizing the chances of qualifying for the Nations Cup. There were some issues that, happened couple of days ago when the Libyan side were supposed to have arrived in Nigeria. Pictures surfaced online where they were seen sitting on the floor in airports or somewhere that looked like a room. I mean, the back and forth and dragging was just, too much. But then the NFF, through its communication department, put out a press. Admiral Alajiri says that the Libyan Football Association did not notify the Super Eagles or the NFF of their the landing airport. So originally they were supposed to fly straight to Uyo and be picked up, but they flew to Port Harcourt, and they only gave that information to the Nigerian officials 3 hours to their arrival. So there was a lot of ballo, in the whole process. But the coach of Libyan side was not very. I mean, the last time he spoke to the media, he didn't seem very confident that his side would be able to. There were some players who were injured. They had players who pulled out, players who did not make it. So now, what is giving the captain the confidence?
It's mind games.
Mind games.
Mind games. Mind games is very prevalent in football. I mean, you will not underestimate your opponent, and you will not blow your trumpet as loud as you would. So you just leave whatever happens to what happens in the pitch. We have seen a lot of times with Mohamed Salah coming to say it's a revenge thing against Real Madrid and still get their ass whooping. So I just feel it's mind games. A lot of coaches play mind games. So mind games is prevalent in football. We shouldn't be surprised to see this thing.
William Trusteko has confirmed that Ahmed Musa is still the captain of the Super Eagles, even though the veteran winger is not currently in the squad. Ahmed Musa, who has not been called up by Nigeria since the 2023 AFCON Cup of Nations, Cote d'Ivoire, is playing for the semi-Sugida side Kano Pillars and has made it clear that he has not retired from international football. And testament to that is him scoring 2 goals for Kano Pillars in the last game. Should he be given a chance to come? I mean, for inspiration purposes, or do you think he still has a spot?
I think there are a lot of players banging in goals. Who should be giving it?
Okay, not the MPFL.
Even the one in the MPFL instead of him. I don't think
instead of him.
Yeah, I don't think he still has a future on the national team. Let's look towards the future. Let's get guys that are under 25 who will lead. He has done his part. He should give way for others.
Exactly. I feel he should give way for the young stars to come on. Because he won't be doing this forever. When would they have time to?
You're saying Musa is still the leader of the national team.
He's doing politics.
Exactly.
There's politics everywhere.
Yeah.
Football, so let's just see.
Anyway, the Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, has issued a warning to the Super Eagles as they gear up to face Libya at the Goodwill Akpabio Stadium, and has emphasized the importance of not underestimating the Libyan team and has urged the Super Eagles to strive for victory. He also reminded the Nigerian team that securing a place requires unwavering focus and determination, especially facing a very resilient opponent like the Mediterranean Knights. Let's look at the game. What you make out of this game? How do you think it's going to pan out? Just before we get to you, right? I'd like to take a moment. When we return, we'll now look at what do you call it? The predictions and how the game might pan out eventually. Stay tuned. Hello, sports fans, enthusiasts, and pundits. Welcome to SOUQ Sports.
Yeah, say your humble boy, your loyal boy from the hood, Kevin Ojefe, and I'm glad to be here. This is SOUQ Sports.
To do the business, the money that makes the wheel go round.
Barcelona and Napoli. Napoli is out and Barcelona has qualified for the quarterfinals of Champions League.
For different ways to make money. Sports is best a way to be creative.
Now, the next 45 minutes are going to be very exhilarating. Just a couple of hours before the Nigeria-Libya fixture gets underway at the Nestabat Champions in Uyo, we do have Top Cats and two other cats in the studio. So I'd like to find out what they think about this game. And of course, we'll be looking at the team. Coach Austin Eguavon, I have to put an interim there, despite as a suffix, for purpose of what it is, because he might, after today's game, he'll say, it's just one game. I said, I'm going to do. I mean, it was just so petty, it was petty. Anyway, so what do you guys make out of the squad? It has depth, you've said. And do you think against the Libyan side will hold on? And Libya feels like a pushover. But then when it matters most, the Super Eagles have not delivered the goods.
We've played 4 times against Libya and we've won all 4. We are at home. The team is looking great. Let's look at the form. 1 win, 1 draw. So I expect a straight win.
How many goals?
2-0.
I was leaning for 2-1, giving them the benefit of that because we always used to lose focus towards the end of the game.
Games.
So I would say 2-1. They'll get their acts right and maybe manage 1 goal. But yes, Nigeria should come victorious in this
2-0.
because we are always complacent towards the end, like waiting for time or waiting for the whistle. So yes, 2-1 on my side.
There's been an argument about who should start in goal for the Super Eagles. And so I saw a video, I couldn't put it up because of trademark issues, of the 3 goalkeepers called up during training session, right? Maduko Okoye is speaking strongly about wanting to get back to the starting role. I mean, are you comfortable with Stanley Wabeli's capacity?
He has proved himself so far. He has not had any error. And we don't have a reason to change something that is working. So he should continue as our number 1.
What about you?
Well, we have a strong spot in the group right now as it stands. I would say giving another keeper a chance sounds good, but you don't change winning team. Allow Stanley finish the job that he has started. Maybe when they go away, then you can chop and
When
chip.
we've won the group.
Exactly.
and
When
there's
it's
a spare game,
comfortable,
yes.
then you can afford to give those guys because goalkeeping role is one that is the last line of the
Very
defense.
sensitive.
Very sensitive. If Okoye is not feeling very confident and he goes there and he makes a blunder, who would we blame? We would come back
Just
to
like
blame the
the
coach.
last time it
Yeah,
happened.
come back to blame the coach. So I feel we should stick with what works for now until we are safe. Then you can go to experimenting and trying out different players in different roles. So yeah, stick with what works now. We should get the win.
All right. So the Nigerian Super Eagles have gone on to international engagements, but then surprisingly, we still have NPFL fixtures when you have international break. Well, one can say probably that's why I'm sporting an Abia Warriors jersey, one team I love so much. So Abia Warriors will be in action against Kwara United, and that game is slated for tomorrow, right? One player who has played for Abia Warriors.
Playing against
Paul
my former
Sampson.
club is.
So he played for Kwara United, I beg your pardon. It's Paul Sampson. And Paul Sampson is going to be featuring for Abia Warriors Well, he has downplayed the mixed feelings of facing his former club, Kwara United, as they host Kwara United in March day 6 of the 2024-2025 NPFL fixture. This game will happen at Umar Township Stadium. The Cross River Born winger is optimistic of securing the maximum points against the former side, and he's saying it's nothing special. It's the same thing playing against my former club. It's just what you have to look upon. So we'll take a listen to what he has to say ahead of that game against Kwara United.
Yeah, there's nothing special. It's still the same thing, but playing against my former club is what you just have to look upon. It's normal game, so I just believe we will go out with a victorious point. Yeah, it's nothing special. So I've played against them before. I have joined them and I've left. So I've come back to Abia Warriors. Same standard, same game, same football. Sometimes you play good, sometimes you play bad, and the result comes positive or negative. So I think if Kwara United come here, I'm very sure we will defeat them because the winning mentality is there now. We don't have any reason to lose any game here in Umuahia Township Stadium. We felt bad because that was not the result we wanted. We played good football, but the result came out negative. But it's not bad. So we just have to look ahead of our next game, which is Kwara United. And I strongly believe that we'll come out victorious.
The pride of Umuahia, as they are dubbed, did take on Enugu Rangers in an Oriental derby. And when they played Enugu Rangers, there was a lot of hype in that game, but unable to secure the maximum 3 points, losing by a lone goal at the Nandi Azikiwe Stadium. And so you heard Paul Sampson speaking very confidently and well, I can't find the other word I want to describe. But then Abia Warriors, after the win against Kano Pillars, which seemed like a fairy tale win, one would have expected them to continue in that streak, having employed the services of Imama Amapakabo. I don't know what you make out of that development. Do you think, Kwara United, who have also been, in great shape this season, would succumb to Abia Warriors at the Umar Township Stadium?
I think despite the performance of certain clubs like Remo and Enyimba,
Remo did not perform very well in the last game.
Despite the last game, they've been doing well.
Yeah.
When they
Okay.
go away,
Yes, indeed.
I still think Abia Warriors would, like Paul Sampson had said, he was sounding bullish. That's the one.
Yeah.
I think Abia Warriors will get the 3 points in this game to be a win for them. Yeah.
Okay.
What is your club? Well, you're not looking too confident.
You win some, you lose some. That's what it is. Ikorodu United, one of the team after my heart, is Ikorodu City. Beg your pardon. They also have a home game. And that's going to be against Bendel Insurance. The last time Ikorodu City played Bendel Insurance was in the NNL, and it ended 1-1. I mean, we could show you clips of that game as it happened, in the last, I think last season, because they just gained promotion. 1-1, it ended. But Ikorodu have not been able to replicate the form that they showed in the NNL last season. And so that has been a problem, which has also resulted in the exit of Coach Bright Ozababe. And, we've seen Ikorodu falter when it's expected for them to stand their grounds and push. And one will beg for the question that begs for answer is, when shall it become?
We had said on this show when the season started that they just had to get experienced campaigners. A lot of their players are new players. They just have to go and get those that have played in the league 3-4 years to understand the dynamics of this current division. It's showing that they are not ready to play at this stage yet. So they just need to go and get the players. Maybe by the midway of the season, when the transfer window opens again, they will have to do as we've said here on the show.
Well, without a coach, the club should have made an announcement at this point in time as to how or who will be leading the team. I'm sure they have a crew who are still responsible for the team, but then there's no official announcement as to who is coach. So they line up against Bendel Insurance. That's going to be at the Mobile Johnson Arena, Onikon, and that's going to be tomorrow, Saturday. Well, some of the games that will be played in the MPFL include Sunshine Stars taking on Enugu Rangers. That's at 4:30. And on Sunday, you see Remo Stars playing host to Nasarawa United. They're getting ready for that game. Plateau United are away to Bayelsa United. El Kanemi Warriors will play host to Heartland. And then you have Niger Tornadoes Lobi trade tackles, while Kano Pillars will travel to Akwa Ibom to take on Akwa United. Katsina United, Rivers United, and then Shooting Stars against Enyimba. So Shooting Stars, Enyimba, my guy.
That's a big one. That's
Yeah.
a weekend classic. So we should be expecting fireworks in that game. I don't know. Enyimba won't back down at all. They would like to go there and topple their opponents. So we have seen a lot of away wins this season already. So I'm not expecting anything less. It might not be easy for them, but it should be a fiery one.
You expect Enyimba to win?
I do expect Enyimba to win.
Away. Well, we'll cross the ocean now. Let you know that England's interim manager Lee Castley's all-attacking strategy backfired as they slumped to a shock defeat by Greece in the UEFA Nations League at Wembley. Jude Bellingham's 87th minute goal looked to have rescued a desperately disappointing England display after the Greece Pavlidis gave his team a deserved lead with, some sort of a composed music. It was a beautifully composed song when it finished 4 minutes into the second half. We saw Greece also respond to end a deserved victory as he struck again deep into stoppage time on a very sad night for England with interim boss Castley. Now, in the absence of injured captain Harry Kane, we saw a striker of Jude Bellingham in a false nine role. We saw Phil Foden, Anthony Gordon, because Saka, who suffered an injury to his right. Cole Palmer, who was also named England Footballer of the Year just this week. Saka will be out for a couple of weeks. He was replaced in the 51st minute with Noni Madueke as he was stretched off, holding the back of his right leg before eventually sitting on the top after Greece opened the scoring through Pavlidis. I don't know what you make out of that game.
Well, I think it's a shameful outing for the English side. Without taking anything away from the Greek side, I just feel it's more or less like an experimental phase for the new boss.
Yeah.
Yes, he's tried to bring in those boys that won the tournament for him in under 21s, like Gordon, giving them roles, also bringing Phil Jones from Liverpool. Yes, young players are very nice. We like to see them. They bring the exciting stuff to the game, but you cannot forget the role of experience. I feel if a Maguire was in that defense to calm things down, regardless of all the back and forth and all the media problems he had from performances at United, he always does well for England. I mean, his style of play for English when in the England squad is quite different from. So I feel like a Maguire would have changed the whole atmosphere surrounding that game. You look at a Greek side that have come with quality. They've come with enthusiasm. Playing in Wembley is not easy feat. And if you check the stats, they had 12 attempts overall.
They should have scored more.
They should have scored more.
Yes.
You
They had two disallowed goals.
You see that England thing, lacking in confidence. They are very sluggish. They lack the. Well, I say they didn't know what exactly the coach wanted them to do. And you have a striker in Watkins. You have Calvert-Lewin. Yes, Kane is not available. Why don't you try those boys? Calvert-Lewin, yes, has an injury issue, but then there's Watkins. Play Watkins at a number 9 role that is an established striker in a number 9 role, instead of trying Jude Bellingham in a role that he's unfamiliar with, and you see that you're struggling in the Nations League, a competition that has eluded them twice now. I think this is a very relatively shameful start, and I hope they'll pick, coming in the next game, they'll pick up form and give us what we're used to seeing from an English team.
All right, France's head coach Didier Deschamps has explained why he omitted Real Madrid for Kylian Mbappe from the national squad amid speculation about pressure from the Spanish club. Kylian was not included in the blue squad for the UEFA Nations League fixtures, prompting some sort of criticism in his home country. Of course, the decision came after the 22-year-old played in the 2-0 win over Villarreal despite reportedly nursing an injury. Deschamps went on to clarify that the choice to exclude Mbappe was solely his own. Kind of issues that we have between Victor Osimhen and Finidi George. A little bit. Like
reports from Europe said, are also saying that Mbappe was the one that asked for. He just came back from
injury. Yeah.
So
It's a
we
big
don't have to overwork these players. They are playing games every 3 days. So if France won 4-1,
They won 4-1.
so they have they could
A little J.
yes, they can always
Or a little D.
alternate. I think that was also for England. Most of their players were injured, basically. So Jack Grealish, Harry
Yeah.
Kane, they were
So
injured.
England's are the one, or the English team are the ones who seem to be at the receiving end a lot more.
And losing Saka again.
I think that yesterday, to add to what he said, it was a question of tactics yesterday.
Yeah.
And that is why it's always good for a coach to stand his ground. He's trying to move away from the conservativeness of Gareth Southgate.
Yeah.
And he went all action. And Greece would have beaten them like 5-1. And I feel very bad for
There was no experience.
Because I believe Ricardsley is supposed to step into that role. But if they are losing at this time, the English media, very unforgiving.
Still the same transition we're talking about.
Yes.
Transiting from a coach that has, groomed these players to, this is how I want you to
Since
play.
2016.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's the
Yes.
most successful manager in English
In
history.
recent times.
And you would see that it will be difficult, yes. And constantly trying to change the whole tactics
At once.
it's not going to work. Still allow them
I
enjoy
do
their
the same
conservative.
thing. We're talking about philosophy
Yes.
and consistency.
Yeah.
So a different manager comes with his own ideas, and he expect the players to pick it immediately.
It's
And the
not
fans don't have
possible.
that patience.
No.
So why don't you say
And we're
allow them?
unforgiving.
Yeah, very unforgiving. I mean, look at what Southgate went through, even having been the
Despite
most.
being the most
So I just you can't please the fans, but you know the philosophy that you bring, you know
Stand
the
on
idea
it.
you want. Then make the players interpret this in their football. Because Jude was all over the place, a workaholic as usual, but they were lacking that centre forward finish,
Yeah, the
an
target
established yes.
target man that will alert the likes of Foden, the likes of Saka, see the space.
And yes, I would say I'm not a coach, but allowing Cole Palmer sit deep, that should be where Jude should thrive, sitting deep, winning the duels, winning 1-on-1, retrieving the balls. Palmer is
This
very.
guy watches too much England match.
So I feel like Palmer would have played by
It's true because
nine
if
role
there was a
proper.
target
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
he occupies the centre backs.
He gives
There's
the
now
defenders
space
a
in
lot.
the final third.
He gives the defenders a lot to worry about because it's
The defenders were
For me, what
comfortable
I'm more concerned about is the fact that you have more interest in English games than Nigerian games.
But you can't take away that
We spent
these are players who watch weekends,
Yes.
weekends and out of even in Champions League. So
So you follow them to
we
their
follow
over 15 minutes discussing Super Eagles.
Super Eagles, yeah.
Extensively. So
Okay. Anyway, so we did see Finland lose to Ireland. 1-2 it ended. Austria and Kazakhstan 4-0 in favor of Austria. Norway beat Slovenia 3-0. But then Italy and Belgium shared the spoils 2-2 in that 4-goal thriller. Latvia lost to North Macedonia 3-0, and Faroe Island and Armenia 2-2 it ended. So some of the games that we might not be able to bring you up to speed, but then let's move our attention to tennis real quick, where American Coco Gauff secured the 50th WTA win of the year. 6-love, 6-4 victory over Magdalena Nets in the Wuhan Open quarterfinals. The world number 4 will face top seed Arina Sabalenka in the semifinals tomorrow after the US Open champion beat Magdalena French 6-2, 6-2. Gauff, who is only 20, made 8 double faults against Poland's Linette, but was dominant on her opening serve, winning 14 of 21 return points in the opening sets. Linette is 32. She recovered slightly in the second set before one of her 22 unforced errors gave Gauff the only break of serve in the set, and that wrapped up the Americans' win. Meanwhile, two-time defending champion Sabalenka extended her beating record in Wuhan to 15 matches. The Belarusian hit 42 winners in 16 games against French of Poland, securing victory in 1 hour and 23 minutes. Today, China's Wu Xinyu overcame Russian Ekaterina Alexandrova 4-6, 7-5, 7-6 in their last 8 tie. In the other quarterfinal, China's Paris 2024 gold medalist Zheng Qinwen faces Wimbledon finalist Jasmine Paolini. The game is on the way right now. One of the biggest tennis stories that's making the round is the 22 Grand Slam champion who has announced that he'll be retiring from the professional tennis circuit at the end of this season. 38-year-old tennis legend. He will be making his final appearance representing Spain at the upcoming Davis Cup finals in Malaga. Rafael Nadal. His playing time has been limited over the past 2 seasons due to reoccurring injuries, and he has hinted at the possibility of the retirement or possibility of retirement by the end of 2024. Let's take a look at the video which he released announcing his retirement.
Hola a todos, estoy aquí para comunicaros que me retiro del tenis profesional. Y la realidad es que han sido unos años difíciles, estos dos últimos especialmente. Creo que no he sido capaz de jugar sin limitaciones. Es una decisión que evidentemente es difícil, que me ha llevado tiempo tomarla, pero en esta vida pues todo tiene un principio y un final, y creo que es el momento adecuado para poner punto y final a lo que ha sido una carrera larga y mucho más exitosa de lo que jamás me hubiera podido imaginar. Pero me hace muchísima ilusión que mi último torneo sea la final de la Copa Davis y representando a mi país.
Rafael Nadal, he leaves the sport as the second most successful men's single player of all time, surpassed only by his longtime rival Novak Djokovic, known for his dominance on clay court. I mean, your final words on this show should be about Rafael Nadal.
An illustrious career, really. 14 in total Grand Slam on the clay courts. I mean, anybody that will be able to topple that would be considered best, the absolute best. But kudos to him. You know, they say always live when the ovation is loud, and he's had a little here and there with injuries, and he's been able to come back, you know, still fight for his place. And we've seen that over the years, he has been able to go toe to toe with, you know, these other two, and he's one of the big three. And we say kudos to him, and congratulations on the next phase of his journey and his career. And that will be my final, you know, thoughts today.
Akata the attacker.
A great career, illustrious career. I just want to wish him the best in the next phase. Maybe he's going to become a coach or head into other businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still a young man at 38. He still has about 60 more years to live. So those congratulations, Nadal. We wish you all the best.
Well, just to wrap up the show here, because we're practically out of time, we might not be able to bring you rumors, has it, and sports business. But of course, today, the Super Eagles are taking on the Mediterranean Knights of Libya at the Goodwill Akpabio Stadium at 5 o'clock. We do have a prediction post on our social media platform. You need to check it out. It is SOUQ News TV. But our hat goes out to all of the journalists who were kidnapped on their way to bring live coverage of that Super Eagles match in New York. But then kudos to the Nigerian police for doubling their efforts and ensuring that every journalist, the last person, even according to the reports, the one who was shot, has been secured. And we're hoping that they can keep up with that good work. Thank you so much to the Nigerian police. And of course, more grease to your elbows if you're out there ensuring that you're bringing live coverage, I mean, in the area of sports development, and what have you. My name is Tici Barrah. I'm the top cat. On behalf of everyone here and everyone who has ensured that you can receive us loud and clear, do have yourself a wonderful day, and hopefully the Super Eagles get to win. But don't forget, urgent TKs in the offing. So go to our social media handles and predict. Until I come your way again, bye for now and have a great weekend.